So how is that I do this? Hello. I figured I do a bit of a counter update live here. I pitched over a question regarding how I make these little triggers work using the booleans and everything. And initially, I really didn't figure out exactly what's going on until one Dr. Bosky actually came around and gave me a bit of a pointer about how things were actually supposed to work. So basically, what it was is that I've been doing everything all wrong with the initial bonus stage, so I just had to do a bit of a rethink. So over here you can see that this first zone here has these little things tied to a trigger here, and there's a reason why. It's because of that. This trigger only fires when all these are dead. Basically, everything that's attached to these through the lines and whatnot are attached to this trigger. If all of these go, this trigger fires, which in turn goes to that trigger, and it goes down to goes down to one of these booleans that I set up, which are the dummy entities, which have no health, have no collision, but are attached to the camera at the bottom, so whenever you move, it scrolls like that. Let me show you a little bit of a workout of exactly what's going on here. Play in the editor for a little bit, I'll show this. Notice how I'm clearing these, and those just managed to disappear. Basically, it's counting those it's counting the counting the checks around here. Is are these boxes clear? Okay, let's remove one of these. Let's remove the respective boolean from the field. Basically, just say, okay, hey, we meet the condition, so we do the death trigger, and the kill trigger just deletes one of these in random. But notice, however, let me bring it up again. This one just suddenly disappeared. This is what I prefer to call the meta trigger, and basically this counts that everything in that zone, if any part of that's still alive, if these four things here didn't get set to be destroyed, and this remains alive, which would be set for a fail condition later on, but you kill all the boxes in this area up around here specifically, it gets rid of these four triggers right here. These booleans, these fake enemies that I set up, and then it would then counteract with this one. Those four are all dead, so I give it a little bit of a bonus, and it pings back to a kill trigger that deletes this. It keeps on going for each of these little waves, knock all these out, you get another one cleared. You knock this part off, it's supposed to look like a climbing individual. Clear another one. And this is a Commodore 64 asterisk, by the way. Clear that, you clear the final one. Now, you get this super meta that goes around here. But it's okay. Well, this is taken care of. And then when you reach the point where this comes around, it goes into the screen, lock the player in position, and the moment this happens, there's a small tick around here. This is the countdown. 0.1 is what Bosky said, and this goes to a trigger saying, "Hey, was the final meta trigger destroyed. If all these four around here, these four meta triggers around here are destroyed, then this is the fail indicator. The fail indicator gets destroyed. And what that basically means is that, hey, since that is dead, then we're going to play a little bit of a fanfare, and then we're going to just do another bit of a text, and then we'll immediately go to the gift. However, this countdown also goes to another countdown, which then checks to see if that fail trigger is alive. If that little thing up here remains active because one of these four is still alive, because it wasn't destroyed because you didn't clear the entire grid. And then when that happens, it says, okay, this is alive, so the fail condition was met. So you get this little thing around here, and you get a little bit of a buzzer saying, saying, you know, hey, you should do a bit better next time. So let me show you exactly what happens if you actually wind up not completing. Now Dr. Bosky said I should use a trigger when the player hits, but I prefer to use it when it's detected by the camera because it's a lot more controllable. And allows you to get back in place like here. See, I didn't clear everything. The fail trigger was set. And it played the buzzer saying, hey, better luck next time. And there's this nice little finish around here. It gives you a nice little indicator of bonus end. Again, this is when the camera hits. This is the modification. Hey, let's stop the camera. Let's slow it down to a stop. Play that while it's active. And then we have a timer that's longer than what this shows. What this shows, which then would trigger the end of level scenario. So that's basically how I managed to work things out. This is a work in progress. It's very much work in progress, and things are a lot crude. But hey, I even set a bunch of fake walls around here. Not really fake, but these walls around here, and the checker flags. Hey, this is the end around here, and this is like the signals. Hey, this is the end of the bonus stage. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, this is very, very, very beta. And now normally, let me finish this one thing on here. And as someone that buzz around, like how I'm able to set trigger a power level. Well, not because just play around here. You need to collect crystals, and you basically power up because you gain points towards power and whatnot. But how do you set specifically? Well, here is a dummy item that I set up. And what this dummy item does is that it immediately sets the individual power level 3. When you go on the bonus stages, you wind up powering down to level 3 anyway, so you basically make things a little bit more fair and do more challenging, clear this whole bonus stage around here. So that's kind of how I got these things figured out. Well, till next time.